Broncos country, are you ready? The season is finally here. Playing the Seattle Seahawks. This is going to be a preview of the game, our keys to the game, what the Broncos need to do, the players that we really need to step up in order to go to Seattle in the toughest environments in the NFL and start our season out with a victory. I think we're all expecting to see a very competitive game. The Seahawks, they have a new coach. They I think are kind of expected to be around a 500 team. And so the Broncos, I think, have a wonderful opportunity. We're kind of catching Seattle in a transition period, which is always nice, especially when you got to go on the road. Of course, y'all drop your score predictions down below in the comments. Like and subscribe for more Broncos news. Appreciate every single one of you guys, for real. Even if we got different opinions, I love having discussion with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into this game. Let's start with Bo Nix. He's getting the start. First rookie captain we've had since Floyd Little long ago. Shout out to Hall of Famer Floyd Little. And hey, if he's going to follow in those footsteps, hopefully that means Bo Nix is going to be onto a very strong career for himself as well. But going up against Seattle, in Seattle, it's very important, one, that we get out to a lead. We definitely get out to a lead. We want to put Geno Smith and that Seattle Seahawks offense in a place to where they're stressing a little bit. They feel the pressure. They would need to come back from behind because I think that they're going to come out there and definitely attempt to run the football and establish a running game. I mean, they got a great running back there with Kenneth Walker, a pretty decent spell back there with Zach Charbonnet, a few other complimentary backs, and they're going to put this Denver Broncos run defense to the test. I mean, this was one of the worst run defenses in the NFL last year. Granted, we have maybe a new starting top four defensive linemen in terms of the rotation, five with the Wazarike coming back in that 3-4 interior that we have. So that's one of the keys to the game is just stopping the run as well as getting out to a lead, most definitely. Now, when it comes to staying on the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be very important for PJ Locke, Cody Barton, Alex Singleton when it comes to stopping their tight ends. Seattle traditionally has always kept their tight ends involved. I know they have some new ones this year, but they also have Noah Fant returning, who's going to be coming in looking for a revenge game against the Broncos, right? Remember, he was part of that Russell Wilson trade along with Drew Lock, and I think we could see him involved in this passing game from Seattle because traditionally we have done a poor job covering the tight ends. Now, I do think Noah Fant, he's not as athletic as maybe Travis Kelce or some of these other guys that we've had trouble with. But Cody Barton, Alex Singleton, PJ Locke, I feel like these guys are going to be responsible for shutting down the tight end threat in the passing game. I want to see what they're able to do. Another key to the game is going to be our cornerbacks, sticking with the secondary. How is Riley Moss going to handle covering JSN or DK Metcalf on the outside? Pat Surtain, he's going to take away his part of the field. But yeah, how are we going to contain the other outside wide receiver? That could be Tyler Lockett at some points, but I'm very confident in Jaquan McMillan and Pat Surtain's ability to, limit the destruction that this wide receiver core, in my opinion, a pretty deep wide receiver core can do. The big question mark is what is Riley Moss going to do going up against some true ones, right? You didn't get a lot of action against true ones this preseason, and that's something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Now, he did pretty well against Indianapolis. Hopefully he can replicate that and do even more than what we saw against the first drive or so in Indianapolis. Now, transitioning back on to the offensive side of the ball, I'm really hoping, and I would assume that Sean Payton's going to attempt to establish that run game because Bo Nix, this serves every rookie quarterback, but definitely Bo Nix, playing off of play action is going to suit him great. Let's get Javonte Williams into a nice little rhythm, or Jaleel McLaughlin, a guy who I feel like has really expanded his skill set, seems to have become a better blocker. We saw him run some inside run plays during the preseason, which we didn't see a lot of that last year. I think our running back tandem is pretty sneaky, along with Audric Estime, having him available for those short yardage situations where it's going to be very important for us to convert, especially on the road. Third and short, second and short, fourth and short. Hopefully, we don't face any fourth and short, but something, we will throughout the season. I want to see our running backs convert because I have confidence in this offensive line. I think this is an above average offensive line in the NFL, and we should be converting first downs through the run game. This should be a unit that we rely on. Now, when it comes to the pass blocking, I think we're going to give him enough. Bo Nix, that is enough time. The real key is how do the corners of the Seattle Seahawks perform? We got Tariq Woolen, who kind of had a little bit of a kind of a setback year, a sophomore slump. Can he return to that rookie form that we saw a couple years back? As well as another very talented cornerback, Devon Witherspoon. So they have some very interesting, talented secondary players. And I think Sean Payton, of course, his bread and butter is going to be getting Bo Nix into a rhythm early, off of play action, getting the ball out of his hands very quickly. And then you're going to start to see some, big chunk plays downfield, even more so than we saw with late Drew Brees, just because of his lack of arm strength. Bo Nix has plenty of zip on the ball. He is thrown with anticipation, and that's really what I want to see. Now, some people might say, hey, going into a road environment like Seattle, you're dealing with the 12th man, right? Maybe he has some rookie moments. That's true. I don't think he ever beat the Washington Huskies while he was up there playing at Oregon against, up there in Seattle, especially. But I think he has performed well in all of those games against the Huskies, including the ones on the road in Seattle. And I'm going to expect Bo Nix to look poised. I think he will have his rookie moments, throughout the season, but he's going to be somebody that I expect to not make the same mistake twice, so to speak. You guys understand what I'm saying. So not that I expect him to be perfect, but I expect him to learn quickly. There might be some instances where he's learning the speed of the game. The speed of regular season NFL football is different than what we've seen in preseason. But you're hoping that all the reps that he's had throughout preseason, that game experience, is going to really limit the preparation period of getting him fully up to speed with regular season NFL football. So, yeah, I would love to see. I think Cortland Sutton is going to be involved. Greg Dulcich is somebody that I could totally see breaking out and being used as kind of an X factor in this game, because I think a lot of our attention a lot of the attention Seattle's going to put on this offense in the passing game is going to be on Cortland Sutton and Josh Reynolds. I think there's going to be opportunity for deep shots down the field. Maybe Marvin Mims and Devon Vele have their moments as well, but I really do see Greg Dulcich as being a featured target in this offense. Again, he does kind of fit that Jimmy Graham type of mold, and now that he's successfully changed his gait with his running, maybe this is the year we finally get a heavy dose of Greg Dulcich in the offense. So those are my kind of key players, key things to the game. Of course, you want to see this team be disciplined, win the special teams battle, win the turnover battle, time of possession, all of that. But ultimately, want to establish a run game, take some pressure off of Bo Nix, so that way when we're going to open up the passing game, we see him looking comfortable, making easy reads, maneuvering in the pocket really well. And hey, maybe we incorporate some jet sweeps in there as well. Kind of stretch this defense east to west as well. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Right now, I do got our Denver Broncos winning. I'm going to go with 27-17. That's right. 10-point victory. We'll see how it all goes, but y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be back live with Jeremy and Mark after the game for a post game. So until then, guys, enjoy it. We're finally here. Smash that like and subscribe on the way out. And as always, y'all, go Broncos.